비슈와 CEO님을 모셔서 회사에 대한 소개와 비전을 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
Now, we will take time to learn about the journey and achievement of Vision Chain. Let's invite CEO Viswanandh from Vision Chain to introduce the company and share their vision.
A very good afternoon to everyone. So, I'm here, Viswanandh, Namaste, and thank you very much for being here on this great evening or great afternoon. And to translate, the energy, the warmth, the love that I have from Korea, it is amazing. Thank you everyone for coming in. The same warmth and love, I think so this will translate into technology of Vision Chain. So that's where our first stop or our first journey began in South Korea. So thank you everyone for being here. So let me just take you through where we are, and because you're all our friends, we wanted to share our journey, where we are and what we are currently doing, right? So if you look at the power of what we wanted to enable the blockchains of next generation is pretty simple. So blockchain has been there for almost 10 years, and if you actually look at, there are still a lot of challenges in blockchain, right? Some of the major challenges in blockchain, when you actually look at as a technology, is when you start translating this into transactions, the slowness of the transactions is still there because it's not scalable. And communication from one blockchain to other blockchain has always become a very big issue, right? So interoperability is not existing in the current blockchains. And blockchains are known for security. Blockchains are very, very well known for security. Great that there are no compute machines which can decipher blockchains. But do you know, when quantum computing comes into the picture, your blockchains are vulnerable. Already, the existing blockchains are vulnerable with 51% of attacks on various blockchain protocols. So what if the next generation of computers or computing will come through quantum, and then the blockchain can be easily unlocked? So this is where Vision Chain comes with three major promises. One, scalability. You can scale at a speed. Second, interoperability. You can interoperate with multiple cross chains. And the third, quantum resistance. So though the quantum computing comes into the picture, our state of cryptography will enable the chain to be much more secure even when the quantum computing comes into the picture. So this is where our solution of scalable state sharding technique will come into the picture. And of course, our CTO will explain you all these details in much more technical way. But to give you a holistic approach, when we use shards, this will actually break a large transaction into a smaller or minor transactions, so which are easy and faster to execute. And then we have developed a very big, or very different algorithm for consensus, which is going to be much more fair sequencing based algorithm. So, we would be also looking at cross-chain intent fusion framework, which will help us to interoperate between different chains. So this is where we will be leveraging the latest and the greatest, which is the zero knowledge proof system, where you will be leveraging reusable KYC, reusable proof system, reusable verifiable system, and then we will be using DAG protocol, which is like the directed acyclic graph protocol, to make it much more faster, right? So when we look at the technology, the interoperations or the interoperability between the chains, which will be very seamless. So when you wanted to have, one more bigger innovation is, are we AI ready, right? So blockchain with AI nativeness is one more important feature that we actually bring in. So how we do that is, when the chain, when a user wanted to do a transaction, he can actually do that in his natural language. In Korean, you just type in, I want to do a transaction. So it doesn't matter which chain, what is the what you have on your wallet, what is the token which is there in the wallet. It just does the transaction. So that's where our AI readiness on the CIF, which is the cross-chain intent fusion framework, will actually work. As well, it's scalable. That means, we have designated larger mempool, which will allow so many transactions. So there will not be a constraint in the speed of transactions. So, and one more is the novel, consensus algorithm, which is called the proof of visibility. So, which will enable transparent and a very fair-based sequence elections to elect a leader and then nominate to allocate these transactions. So, there are many more technology which will be explained by the next speaker, my CTO, Mr. Gopal. So when you look at how this complete platform will work, when a user, say for example, any one of you who has a Vision Chain wallet will be typing in your natural language, your own language. And then you will be putting your intents, where the intent-centric wallet will understand whether it is a transaction, whether it is, whether it is a reversal, whether it is a purchase of a property, whether it is purchase of anything else. So based on this, there will be ZK sets. So these are nothing but bridges which will go into our mempool. So mempool is where the transactions get stacked with the priority. What is the priority of the transaction? So based on this, the leader election will happen in the fair sequencing method. And there are something called range proofs and random proofs. So this will enable security to a next level. So our solution is much more heavier than, or much more better than any of the existing chains. So these all new features which we have, including the consensus algorithm, including the Merkle tree generation, or the accumulator ZKVM, ZK node. Nobody in the blockchain industry has thought of where this aggregation would be. So if you actually look at Ethereum, which is one of the standards, and most of this is also a dream for Vitalik, that why can't we incorporate in existing Ethereum stack? But it is very, very difficult. Why? Because the stack is already built. It is built on legacy. So now the Vision Chain comes with those enhancements which no one in the blockchain industry has ever discussed, ever are able to execute. There are some blockchains now which are looking at intent centricity, but now Vision Chain has already been an intent-centric wallet right from the start. We don't have to migrate the users. We are making the users AI native. We are making the blockchain quantum resistant. We are making the advancements in the way that the blockchains operate, not only on the security but also with intelligence. So that is the power that we actually bring in. So our focus is initially to really look at the protocol licensing. So this protocol of Vision Chain can empower so many businesses across the world. So starting with financial world, where it would be used for loans, supply chain loans, trade loans, equity, tokenization, real world assets. So this protocol will be helping with quite a lot of dApps that would be powering. And to friends and family here, we have got some of our very interesting use cases already putting this on Vision Chain. which you will be seeing shortly. And then the token ecosystem. So the token ecosystem is one of the very important feature, or one of the most important metrics which we have designed with a careful evaluation of tokenomics, how this should be priced. And our tokens are not just any of those coins. We are very carefully designing the transaction, the governance, the transparency of how this particular governance model is going to impact, and that's where this becomes a very important part of our business model. And also the ecosystem. The ecosystem is not built in a day, because when we actually look at the DApps and its performance, there are a lot of new aspects that we want to bring in. Many applications we wanted to keep them much more easier. So we have been developing a lot of SDKs for the developer community, so that more of DApps can be built on this particular ecosystem. So that's where we are actually bringing in easier DApp creation, low code platform, no code platform, so that the business users can start working on these kind of applications built on Vision Chain, right? So our major markets which we are looking at is, one, we start with the financial markets, which is with the DeFi, liquidity, supply chain ecosystem, tokenization of real world assets. So that is going to be one of the major ones. And then we will be also looking at DePIN, which is the the DApps for public infrastructure networks, like the telecom networks or the utility networks or the government services. So that could actually empower and help most of the use cases across the globe. And as well as DApps, which are centric to our ecosystem, where more of the blockchain developers across the globe can just develop the applications at a very, very rapid pace and a simple way, right? So that's quickly about those use cases. We look forward for more of the support. And once again, I would like to thank for coming in today and listening what we are doing, what are the innovations that we are bringing in here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
유익한 발표를 해주신 우리 비슈아님께 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다. 비슈아님의 이력에 대해서 잠시 말씀을 드릴게요. 비슈아 CEO는 블록체인과 핀테크 전문가이자 개발자인 기업가로서 오랜 시간 인도, 아랍에미레이트, 태국, 한국 등 수많은 고객사들과 엔터프라이즈 레벨의 블록체인 개발에 참여해왔습니다. 과거 이더리움 재단의 해커톤 대회, 해커 마라톤이라는 준말이 해커톤이에요. 해커톤 대회에서 대상을 수상도 하였고요, 여러 차례. 그리고 이제 인도 내 은행과 정부에 다양한 블록체인 솔루션을 공급하거나 서비스를 제공하고 있습니다. 또한 여러 탑티어 블록체인 프로젝트들에게 기술 컨설팅과 개발 지원을 해온 우수한 인적 네트워크를 바탕으로 지금 현재 비전 체인의 밝은 미래를 만들어 나가고 있습니다.
To briefly introduce about Vishwa, he is a blockchain and fintech expert, developer, and an entrepreneur who has been involved in the development of blockchain at the enterprise level to numerous clients in India, UAE, Thailand, and Korea for a long time. In the past, he won the grand prize in the hackathon competition of the Ethereum Foundation and provided various blockchain solutions or services to banks and government in India. In addition, he is creating a bright future for Vision Chain based on his outstanding human network that has offered technical consulting and development assistance to various top-tier blockchain projects.
Hello, everyone. So, right from technology, yeah, hope you love what is there in the technology. So many technology components, right? So it's not so easy to comprehend, but thanks to Gokul for really putting this very, very well. He has given you high-level overview, but most interestingly, let me also see how different we are, how better we are, or how bad we are, on the technology when compared with some of the best blockchains in the industry, right? So, how many of you love Solana? Raise your hands. Solana? We all love? Okay. How many of us love Ethereum? Oh, everybody, right? How many of you love Vision Chain? Oh! Yes. So the same love, if you actually look at, yes, our Vision Chain is much more better than any of these competitors, right? So when we actually look at Ethereum, at this moment it's 30 transactions per second. And it can also scale to 1 lakh transactions or, about 100,000 transactions with Ethereum 2.0. It is already there. So it's high, but it is not at its best. When we actually look at Polygon, it is a side chain which is moderate, which is good, very very good, but it's on the side chain. It is not on the main chain. But when we look at one of our favorites, Solana, and then it's like 65K, which is moderate. Just look at Vision Chain. It's on the top with 100K plus transactions per second. The latency is pretty low. So this gives us a competitive advantage of being one of the fastest, chains on the earth. Right? So let me talk about scalability. So when you want, all the blockchains in the world look for these important things, right? Transactions per second. Scalability. Scalability is one more important feature where we have a capability to really look at how fast we can, scale to a new innovation, to a speed with no comparison. How many times your transaction got delayed in your wallet? Multiple times? 6 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes. So there are quite a number of delays that happen in your transactions. But what Vision Chain comes up, as Gokul rightly said, is the dynamic sharding and side chains. So there are million transactions per second. That is the possibility. We have the biggest memory pool size than any of these chains. When compared to any one of them, we have a competitive advantage, in terms of the number of transactions that we could capacitate, or, the priority of the transaction assignment or intelligent transaction assignment can be done by using our blockchain. So, when compared to these, the other favorites, they are good, they're not bad, but they're not as best as Vision Chain. So interoperability, this will be very big challenge because there are a lot of blockchains and interoperating between one token to the other is going to be a challenge, and none of them is providing a right solution, right? So we are here with the ability to do the interoperability without any compromise. As well, the usability. Usability, what I say is, it is always complex to transact on the wallets, right? It is not easier. You need to have knowledge. Korea is one of the most advanced nations to adopt this kind of technology. They understand. But when we look at some of the education from the World Index on the wallets, it is blockchain usability is the lowest in most of the countries. They cannot still use or leverage, blockchain wallets or, blockchain technology. The reason is it is complex, it is not usable. But that's where Vision Chain is coming up with this AI-powered, AI-centric, usable experiences where users can use natural language, users can use AI to do or let the system know what are their intents. So that is the intent centricity, the usability, right? So of course, many of them are starting adopting the same thing, Maybe they might come, but Vision Chain is already in an advanced step to have these kind of experiences for our users. So, overall, when we actually look at, the approach of, how we are able to scale, interoperate, and as well as increase the number of transactions per second, Vision Chain stands at its best, right? So, that's the quick overview of competitive analysis, but I would love to hear any questions that can come and to see if we can actually discuss over the break to understand how better we are from when compared to the other chains. Yep. Thank you.
경쟁 분석을 종합적으로 해주신 우리 비슈아님께 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다.
Thank you, Viswanandh, for the comprehensive competitive analysis. Next, let's invite CEO Viswanandh back to the stage to share the vision and value of roadmap.
Hello again. I did the most exercise in this room, right? Not the stretches which are told, but I have done tries, coming onto the stage. I'll bore you today, but it's the most exciting thing here. The most exciting thing here is Vision Chain, so it's not me, right? So let me just tell you what is our roadmap. Roadmap is like old, we should have an air map, so where we can fly much more faster, right? So we have our air map, which actually tells the token issue, which we are already doing it at this moment. So we will be slowly announcing our token issue and the strategy, in this month. We have already begun and we have already progressed to some extent. And then our first bigger milestone for Vision Chain is the protocol release. So this is the beta. This is the most important milestone for us. Why? Because whatever we spoke today, is it reality? So that is where this validation comes from. So the protocol release is the developer SDK, and then we will have the developer SDK and testnet release in the month of December. So all the developers across the world can tell, yes, Vishwa, this is a great chain, or maybe Vishwa, there are some improvements that are required. So we will hear from the world in building a lot of these applications. We will support them. We will actually try to give them more enablement to build such kind of beautiful applications, decentralized applications on top of the SDK. And then in April 2025, that's the next year, I'm going to be here along with you, my first place where we started the Vision Chain session. We will be rolling out in April 2025 the mainnet. So this is one more bigger milestone which we will really look at to make it happen. And of course, from there, it's the general distribution across. We will be looking at enterprises, B2B, DeFi networks, deep-in networks, gamify applications. This will be our run map or our road map or maybe the air map to travel to the trajectory of being world's best blockchain. That's Vision Chain. Okay? So we look forward for this roadmap to be executed, and the first milestone, which is the testnet release, is not so long. So we look forward for making this a reality. Yep. So any questions we will definitely discuss, and thank you very much for again hearing me out.